eventually, if the government hits a point where they realize, okay, we can't keep spending so much money. We've been spending a whole bunch of money with a bunch of things, from infrastructure to Social Security to Medicare to funding wars overseas to doing all these other things. We can't keep affording this because, well, we can't keep affording the higher interest rates in addition to constantly increasing spending. So we need to cut back. And if the government has to cut back, that means less government benefits. That means maybe they spend less money on infrastructure. Maybe they spend less money on defense. Maybe they spend less money on hiring more teachers. We don't know where that cut is going to happen, but they will probably have to make cuts. And the reason why this is so important, if we tie in what's going on in the economy, is because remember, the government gets their money from taxes, and taxes are based off of people's incomes and business profits. If you enter a time where the economy is slowing, well, that means people's incomes fall because either people make less money or because people get laid off. If you have more people that are laid off, you have less people generating income, less taxes going to the government, and if businesses are making smaller profits, that also means less taxable income for the government, which means even less government benefits, which is why this is so important to understand. And by the way, if you do want to stay up to date on what's happening in the economy, that's why I created Market Briefs. Market Briefs is a free financial newsletter that I created to help you stay up to date on what's happening in things like the economy, the stock market, the housing market, the global economy, and crypto. You can read Market Briefs in less than 5 minutes every morning, and it's completely free. So if you have not joined Market Briefs yet, I got the link for you down in the description below, or you can go to briefs.co/market. That's briefs.co/market. Now, the second way that this will also affect people is through what I like to call the hidden tax. Because anytime you print money, essentially out of thin air, the value of each individual dollar goes down. I mean, think of it this way. If we were living in a new hypothetical world and there's only $100 worth of money, $100 worth of wealth that's created, and this is distributed to the people that live there, people are living based off of this $100 worth of wealth. If you owned $1, you have 1% of the country's wealth, or this world's wealth. But now if the government created a new $100 and they distributed it, and now you had $2, you might feel richer in the beginning, but eventually you're going to realize you still only have 1% of the world's wealth because now you have $2 out of 200 as opposed to $2 out of 100 that was there before. So if the government creates more money through the help of the central bank, that means each dollar has less buying power because it has less value. And that's what happens here. When the Federal Reserve Bank prints more money and they inject it into the economy here, whether by giving it to the government or by just giving it to the economy, more money gets created. If the government gets more money, now they spend this money in the economy somehow. It gets injected into the economy, but that means each individual dollar goes down, which in turn causes the price of things to go up. Not because each thing becomes more valuable, but because the currency, the value of the dollar being used to buy this thing, is going down. And so because of that, you have what I like to call the hidden tax, which is inflation. And now inflation hurts every consumer. And everybody's a consumer. Rich people, middle class people, poor people, every single person consumes, because when you want to go out and buy a car, or you want to go out and buy your groceries, or you want to go out and buy a vacation, it costs more dollars, which means you need more money to do that. However, inflation also disproportionately benefits the asset owners and the financially educated, because if now you are more financially educated, you own investments, well then inflation means you own a stock which is making more money, because they're charging more dollars. And so now the asset owners benefit from inflation. Now, not everybody is an investor or an asset owner. In fact, you really only see a small percentage of the country that is asset owners, which means inflation disproportionately hurts the financially uneducated, the middle class, and the poor, and it disproportionately benefits the financially educated and the wealthy. You don't have to be wealthy to start benefiting from this, but it disproportionately benefits the wealthy because the wealthy people understand this. And so this is where now, when the government keeps spending more money than they have, this benefits the wealthy, and then, well, the person who pays the price is the middle class and the poor, because not to pay back all this taxes plus debt, to pay back all this interest, who does the government tax? They tax incomes. And who is paying the most income tax? Well, of course, wealthy people pay an income tax, but wealthy people don't just generate their money from incomes. They generate the majority of their wealth from their assets, which get tax breaks and lower tax rates. If you only earn your money from your salary, which is how the middle class and the poor earn their money, well, now you are going to be paying the highest tax rates because income tax rates come at the highest rates that our tax code has to offer. Now, I'm telling you this as an attorney who is not your attorney, but our tax code has different buckets of incomes. You have the income that you get from your job, your salary, which comes with the highest tax rates, lowest tax deductions, and then you have the tax rates that come from your investments, your assets, which can either come with lower tax rates or higher tax deductions, which is where now, if you understand the system, you're going to want to stop just earning your money from a job. You're going to want to own these assets, but also now understanding that if the government now has to make a switch from spending to then saving, that's going to hurt this government benefits. And that means more and more of our tax dollars are going to be used to pay down our debt instead of giving things back to the citizens. And then you have the issue of, well, how are they going to get this money? Because if the government now has to get more dollars, especially in a time where the economy is slowing, that could force the government to potentially increase taxes because they run into a situation where now they say, well, we have too many expenses and we need to keep spending money, but we need more money to do that, which means they need to generate more taxes, which would ultimately mean less spending ability for regular people because now more of your money is going to the government in the form of taxes. So this is why it's so important to understand what's going on with the national debt, the national deficit, and government spending because, well, all these things do indirectly affect people, whether it's in the form of government benefits, whether it's in the form of inflation, the hidden tax, or whether it's the form of taxes. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.